A viewer commented on my last seed starting video saying that if they put their grow light 2 to 4 inches above their seedlings, it would kill them in 30 minutes. And yeah, honestly, they're right, because with a very powerful light, that absolutely can happen. And this is where beginners get confused. One person says keep the light 2 inches away, someone else says keep it 2 feet away, and both can actually be correct depending on the light you're using. Some of you also asked great questions about light intensity and PAR measurements, which is very interesting, but if you're just trying to grow your first tomato, it can quickly become information overload. So today, I'm going to show you the simple method I've used for the past 13 years, no special tools required. Grow lights are one of the most confusing parts of seed starting indoors, especially when you start looking things up online. But seedlings really only need 2 things: enough light across the tray, and you paying attention to how the plants respond. Once you understand a couple simple principles, it becomes so much easier. So let's start with the 2 things that actually matter when you're setting up a grow light. When people talk about how close a grow light should be to seedlings, they're usually only talking about the distance, but distance and light intensity need to work together the right way. Intensity is simply how strong the light is. Most home seed starting lights are relatively moderate in strength, and many fall somewhere between about 2,000 and about 6,000 or 7,000 lumens. Lumens are one way manufacturers describe how bright a light appears to our eyes. Lumens measure how bright a light appears to our eyes, but not exactly how plants use the light. Plants respond to the light energy hitting their leaves, but lumens can still give beginners a rough idea of how strong a light is. In general, higher lumens usually means a brighter and stronger light source. You might also hear people talk about measurements like PAR, PPF, and PPFD. These measurements describe the light energy plants actually receive. Those measurements are useful in commercial growing, but for most home seed starting setups, you usually don't need to get that technical. After starting thousands of seedlings over the past 13 years, I've never needed to calculate PAR, and even now, I still prefer to keep things simple rather than getting too technical. For most home gardeners, observing the plants works just as well as measuring the light. Since most lights people use for starting seeds at home fall into that moderate intensity range of around 2,000 to 7,000 lumens, keeping the light just a few inches above the seedlings usually is going to work really well. If someone is using a much more powerful light, like the viewer using one in the 20,000 lumen range or higher, that's a completely different level of intensity. In that case, the light absolutely needs to be further away from the plants. So think about it this way. Stronger lights usually need more distance away from the seedlings, and weaker lights usually need to be closer to the plants. Light spreads out as it travels away from the source, so the further away it gets, the weaker it becomes. Watch your seedlings, because they're going to tell you what they need. If your seedlings are growing tall, thin, and leaning toward the light, that means that they're stretching to reach more light. The light is too far away or too weak, so all you need to do is move the light closer. If the leaves start curling, getting pale patches, or looking like all shriveled up, the light may be too intense or too close, and in that case, you simply raise the light higher. Healthy seedlings should stay compact with sturdy stems and evenly colored leaves. When you see that kind of growth, you know that your light height is in the right range. Another common issue is trying to grow too many seedlings under one small light. Even if the light is close enough, if it's small, it might only be providing strong light to the center of your seedling tray. So the plants on the edges might not be able to reach enough light intensity. I've run into this myself. When I had multiple trays under one narrow light, the plants in the center grew normally, but the ones along the edges started stretching toward the middle. If you're growing a full flat of seedlings, you want a light that spans the whole tray so that everything receives the same amount of light. If you do see some of your seedlings along the edges of your tray bending towards the light a little bit like this, but not becoming tall and leggy, you can also simply turn the pots in the other direction to help straighten the stems. But seedlings do grow best when the light is evenly distributed across the whole tray. And this actually brings me to the lights I used for many years. For the first 11 years that I started seeds indoors, I used simple fluorescent shop lights. I used the 4-foot T8 fixtures hung from my same wire shelves here. T8 fixtures were widely used for seed starting for a lot of years. They provided plenty of light for my seedlings when I kept them just a couple inches above the plants, because this close distance worked well since the fluorescent shop lights produce a fairly gentle light intensity, so that 2 to 4 inches was a safe and effective range. A couple years ago, I noticed that my seedlings were starting to stretch under those shop lights, which usually means the bulbs are losing intensity and need to be replaced. They worked well for a lot of years, but they were also bulky and they took up quite a bit of space on my shelves. So I switched to LED grow lights. The ones I'm using now are a lot slimmer and they fit so much better on my wire shelves. The full spectrum LED lights right here from Vago Garden produce about 5,600 lumens, which falls right in that sweet spot for home seed starting. I also like that they have several intensity settings, so I can easily adjust them depending on what I'm growing, and that flexibility really does make them beginner friendly. Although they do have those settings, I've found that I still do need to adjust the height as my seedlings grow, which I can do easily with my little pulley system that I made. And if you're curious about the exact lights, trays, and other seed starting gear I used, I've linked everything in the description below. So for LED lights, the right distance varies more than it does with fluorescent lights. So this is where the watch your seedlings method really matters. With my Vago lights and their moderate intensity, I keep them around 2 to 4 inches above my seedlings. And anything more than that, I start to notice my seedlings stretching. These are a purpose-built seed starting light at a moderate lumen output, so that distance does work well with this specific light. These lights are full spectrum, meaning the light includes the range of colors that plants use for growth, very similar to natural sunlight. If you're using a different LED, especially a more powerful one thing you could do to be on the safe side is start higher up and then work closer to your seedlings based on how your seedlings are responding. So if grow lights have ever felt confusing, remember that the right distance always depends on the intensity of your specific light. So you can check your manufacturer's recommendation as a starting point and then definitely let your plants guide you from there. Instead of worrying about complicated measurements, the best thing you can do is observe your plants. Your seedlings are going to tell you very quickly when the lights are in the right place. If you want a full step-by-step system for planning, planting, and growing a productive garden in a small space, including seed starting, that's exactly what I teach inside my course, The Intentional Garden System. It walks you through the same seasonal methods I use in my own garden so that you're not guessing your way through the process. And I've linked that below so that you can learn more. And if you want to see the full seed starting setup I use from start to finish, including shelving, soil, trays, and everything else, watch the video on your screen next where I walk you through the entire system step by step. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.